Okay, so yesterday we started, introduction part of PLSQL, and some points were discussed about SQL and PLSQL. What is the differences here? And after that, PLSQL architecture and PLSQL blocks. Okay, so that all we check it out. And finally, what is the structure of PLSQL? Okay, so that is also we discuss. And later, how to declaring your variables. Okay, now and how to assigning values to the variables, and finally how to print the variable values. Up to here we discuss now. Yes, and now you can come here, observe here what we said in this structure. So declaration block is a optional, execution block is a mandatory, and exception block is also optional. Okay, so this is what we discussed in the last session. Now let me see. For example, I don't want it to go for any declaration of variables. So these are not there. So simply what I'm going to do, just I want to print one welcome to PLSQL, one statement I need to print. The printing purpose compulsory execution block must and should be required. And your execution block is what now starts with the begin statement, ends with the end statement. So in this program, I'm just going to be printing my statement, that's it. But I'm not declaring any variables, I'm not writing any logics and everything. Okay, na? So in this case, we don't want it any kind of the declaration block or whatever it was, we don't want it here. So directly we can open your SQL plus. Okay, and so many yesterday some people are asking, outside anybody is there, call them. Okay, no? Hmm. Okay, so now here, see, for your SQL and PLSQL purpose, same editor guys here. In editor's level, there is no changes. Okay, now in the last, how we are using SQL plus software for your SQL queries and whatever we written, same as for your PLSQL also. Okay, there is no any changes and there is no need separate installation of any other software. Okay, the same software I'm using SQL plus only. Okay, now right. And as usual, you have to go to connect with your account. So MyDB 9 a.m. Okay, fine. So after connected, okay, as usual, your properties we need to set and set lines. Okay, fine. This is common. Okay, every day we are doing this. And now I will just go to write my program now. So in this program, what we want to do, okay, in this program, what we want to do here, okay. So now, okay. So I written some statement, just small statement, like how you can say hello statement, how to print. Here also, I'm going to writing one program like welcome to PLSQL. So now I'm going to execute it and see whenever you want to execute your program, compulsory we use a slash. This is the execute operator. So now I just go to enter. After enter, let you see what it was happened. PLSQL procedure successfully completed. Okay. So that means in this okay block, there is no any compilation errors, nothing was there. So your PLSQL procedure successful completed. But can you tell me whatever the print statement was there here, the welcome to PLSQL, actually that I want to print. Yes or no? Ah. But yeah, the statement is printed here? No. So why, sir, why it is not printed? Means that here observe. When we want to display, okay, the output of PLSQL programs, okay, now there is one property was there here. The property is called as what now? Server output. Server output by default, it was having what now? Off. This property connection will be off. So that is the reason whenever your server output will be off, then PLSQL program result I cannot see and it doesn't displaying us. So that's what we want to do. This server output should make it what now? On. Should make it what now? On. Come on, sit. Okay, right. So now this property should make as what now? On. So when I make it on, then after on, again re-execute my program. Again, I'm using what now? Slash. When I re-executed here, can you see now your program output was displayed? Understand now? So that means when I want to display completed, okay. So when we want to display the output of PLSQL program, okay, compulsory, we should make it server output is what now? On. Understand? Na? Suppose you can see if I was make it here, if I make it off and again I'm re-executing my program, then what it was happen, you can see again your output will not display. Okay, na? So that means server output, it must be make it on. Then only the program result can be see it. Otherwise, we cannot see my program result. Okay. So again, I just come back here to make it on and execute now. So now you can re-execute your program. Then welcome to PLSQL. So now in this example, I'm not using any declaration block. I'm not using any exception block. So that's why the people will call it as what now? Declaration block and exception blocks are optional. It's not mandatory, but execution block compulsory should be used. Got it? Right down below. So continuation for yesterday continuation right down below. And below take note point here. So if your Oracle server want to display output of a PLSQL program, we must be use this server output is on. And by default, it was off to make it on. Okay, right. So this is you should be use it now. And next one, below right now, continuation. Okay, right. And next one, yesterday we discussed variable declaration, how to assigning values to the variables, and finally variables how to print. So now one more simple example I was taken to print variable values. So here you can see. So whenever we need to print variable values means first we have to declare. So declaration purpose we required here declaration block. And we know that declaration block starts with a declare statement. In this block, I'm declaring two variables, x comma y. And after that, to this x comma y, I was assigned some values. This is second step, assigning values. Then after that x comma y variable values are, I'm going to print it here. Okay, now so concatenation of x, concatenation of comma, concatenation of y. And already we knows that concatenation how to work. Okay, I already explained to you in SQL language. So now here the simple program, just a variable declaration, assigning values to the variable, and those variable values are printing on my screen. Okay, now so this is one more small example here. to how we can declare your variables. Okay, yeah, don't make it gaps here. Okay, now, right. So now this is what here, the program. Now we can come out. Okay, now we are going to be entered. Now in this case, what it was happening, you can see variable declarations, assigning value, printing variable values. So my variable values are 100, comma 200. Now here I'm asking one question. Here x comma y values are we are directly assigned here. So now tell me these x comma y values, can I change? Can I change this x comma y? Change? Come on, Java students. Once we declared your x value, once we assigned at the time of initialization, is it possible that next I have to change that x value? No, na? Then how you say yes? Huh? Array, you are all are Java programmers here. Huh? You should have a more knowledge because these are simple, na? Basics. Na? Huh? Once you assigning some value to the x at the time of initialization, is it possible? Can I change dynamically? No, impossible. Whatever the value assigned that is called a fixed values. How many times this program are you executed? That many times it will be written 100, comma 200 only. Yes or no? How many times you executed? See, again I executed. What is my output values? 100, comma 200 only. Again I'm executing. Again 100, comma 200 only. Again I'm executing. Again 100, comma 200. Because these are fixed values. Okay, these are not dynamic variables. These are fixed variable values. Okay, so that we cannot change. Suppose if I want to change, okay, dynamically, that means what we want to do? Ampersand. Can you remember na, in SQL language? So whenever you need to enter value for your variables, dynamically if you want to enter, then there we can declare what now? Dynamic variables we want to declare. Got it my point now? Dynamic variables I want to declare. So dynamic variables advantage is what now? Those variable values are we are passing at a runtime. It's nothing but execution time. So execution time we will be entered those values whatever you wanted. Yes or no? That is what now? Dynamical values. These are fixed static values. Okay na? Right on below. Okay. So when we give it like this, it is a fix. Okay. Next, dynamically how to pass values to the variables. Completed now? Mm. So in dynamic variables, let me see. Are you declaring your three variables x comma y comma z? And after that, we want to assigning your what now? X is equals to ampersandage of x. So whenever we want to put it here ampersandage before your variable name, so this variable is called as what now? Dynamic variables we called. Understand? Dynamic variables we called. So that means now the x comma y values user will enter at which level? At runtime level, at execution level, user can insert your values. Okay now. So this is dynamic variable declarations. Okay, in PLSQL, if anybody asks you how to send values dynamically to your variables, means that we are using what? Ampersandage. Okay now, simple remember. So now dbms output, okay, underscore put underscore line of a z value. So here also declaration variable and execution, that means execution block, only two blocks are there here also. Okay now. So now I can go for this, and your spaces are not allowed, so don't give spaces there. Now you can see whether it was asking to me dynamically or not. Asking a yes, enter value for x. Suppose I was given 10. Enter value for y. I'm giving 20. Then x plus y, 30. So you got it that here? Yes. Now suppose you want to change your x comma y value. Again, execute your program. Now I want to give 44. I'm giving 23. So my output is 67. If you want to again, so now we can send here 77. Now we can say 55. Again it was. So x comma y values dynamically I change it. Yes. As my wish, I can give any value to them. Okay, now right. But sir, whenever I was given the values to my x comma y at dynamic level, can you identify your old and new something? It will come at us. Okay, something will be come at us. So what it was, sir? What is old and what is the statement? This new statement is this. Okay, actually old and new, these are called as a bind variables. We called. Okay, now which variables? Binding variables. And these bind variables, what it will do, so that we will discuss in the advanced topics. There is a topic is there on bind variable declarations. There I will explain to you. Okay. But up to now, what I'm going to do, these bind variable statements I'm going to hide. Okay. How to hide means there is a one property. The property is called as what now? Set verify is equals to off. So when I make it verify off, then what happened? You can see again it was asking x value 11, y value 22, and z value 33. Now can you see it was showing any new and old statements? No. So the statements are I just hiding here. Suppose you wanted the statements. How to write now again? Set verify is on. When you make it, your verification is on, then again you want to execute your program, then you can see, okay, then some values, again it was came as what now? Old and new. Okay, now, but what exactly in future classes you can understand that. So up to there, I will be off it here. Those statements will be hiding now, and you just got to call here. Okay, now some values and your Z value 132. Okay, now, right. This is what now dynamic variable declaration, and also how we can send values to that variables. Okay, now, right, umbrella. So fixed variables and dynamic variables. Okay, complete. Now you can see these are general variable declaration, either static level or dynamic levels and passing values. Okay, now right. But the next one, these are general programs. But actually, in my databases, okay, we are working on what now? Table data. Yes or no? So whatever the programs we need to write, those programs we want to write on database tables. Okay, now we can see when we want to store some value into the variable, what we did here, we declared one variable, first of all, variable name and integer. So one variable we declared. And into this variable, we need to store some value. Then we are using assignment operator and we given here 10. So in this case, what it was happen in your X variable memory, how much value will store here? 10. This is actually. And when you want to assign or store values to directly variables, are you declaring like this in our programs? Okay, now this is generally how to store values into variables. But my concept is what now? Database concept. We are working on tables. We are interacting with the tables. Our day-to-day work is what now? Interaction with the data. Our data was having in which format? Tabular format. So our interaction will be every day we are interacting with the tables. So my question is what now? Suppose when these tables, okay, there are so many different types of columns we have here. Suppose any one particular column, So the particular column data, that means in this particular column, there are so many values we have here. Yes or no? So now I want to store a particular column values, whatever the value, okay, a particular column values, if I want to store under a variable, so how I can store variable here? Okay, now, so many people, what they expected here, yes, sir, if this column is which data type? Integer data. So I'm declaring one X variable and the type of X variable is int and the X is equals to my column name. Okay, so many people, what they expected? My column name is EMP number. So it means what now? EMP number column values we are assigning to X variable. This is somebody's thinking like that. But this is wrong. You can't directly, we can save like this. Okay, then how we can store a table specific columns values into variables? Okay, now? So whenever we want to store a specific column variables into values into variables, then there is a one statement was there, and that statement is called as what now? Select into statement was there. This is most important statement and very oftenly I'm using it in my programs. Okay, now? So almost maximum in real time also this syntax will be used. Why? Because we are interacting with our tables data, and any table, one particular column or some specific columns values we need to store into variable, compulsory select into statement I want to use. Understand now? So what it was telling here, storing a table columns values into variables. For that purpose, I want to use in my entire class, whenever I'm going to asking to you, immediately the syntax will be remembered. Okay, no? And this statement or this select statement is always returns single row or single value. But more than one row, I can't fetch from the table. And more than one value also, I can't fetch from my table. It's happening only either one row, otherwise one value from the table. Okay, now more than one is not supported. And this select into statement where you want to use under execution block only. How many blocks? 3 blocks. Declaration, execution, exception. But this statement should be used under execution, not at a declaration, not at a exception. Understand now? Only under declaration you can use. And what is the syntax for this? Can you come out and say? Select, okay, which column values you need to store. That column names you can pass one by one. Storing, okay, so column 1, column 2, these values storing into, where I'm storing into variables 1 and variable 2. From which table? That means these columns are retrieving from which table? The table name. And if it is required to go for condition also you can use. That means the same look like a select statement now. Yes. But in place of what I'm doing here, in place of star, I'm keeping some columns and I'm keeping some variables. This is this entire place. Okay, what actually? Star. In place of star, I'm going to using this required column. That means which columns values you want to store into variables. Those columns names you have to mention. And for that columns purpose, whatever the variables are you declared, those variables names you have to mention. Okay, na? So now in this case, what it was happened? For example, here I will take my employee column, number 1 column I'm taking EMP number. Suppose I'm taking here e name here. For example, I'm telling now. So which columns I'm going to storing here? Number and name column. For number column, I'm storing into one variable X, second variable Y. So EMP number column values storing under X variable. E name column values are storing under Y variable. From which table? From EMP table. And where condition is a optional. Okay, now? Right. So this is the syntax. And let me go for a small example on this. Write a PLSQL program to display employee name, comma, salary details from EMP table as per the given employee number by using select into statement. Okay. Here, one more thing, remember guys here. In our PLSQL, I can write insert query, update query, delete query, but I can't write a select query. Select query statement is not allowed in PLSQL. So that's why whenever we need to implement select query, in place of select query, which I want to implement here, select into statement. That means you have to remember like this select into statement, how it will be work. In my PLSQL means it will be work like a select query. In where? In PLSQL. Okay. Let me see. I will show you practically. Suppose here my question is what now? Write a PLSQL program to display name, comma, salary details. From which table? EMP as per the given employee number. Okay. But the same requirement can I do in my SQL language? In SQL language, same requirement. How to write query? Select employee name, salary from EMP, where EMP number is equals to 7788. Understand now? This is what now? SQL. In SQL language, whenever you need to fetch a specific row, employee name and salary, then we are writing direct query. Yes or no? But what I am telling here, the same query, whatever we written in our SQL, this query cannot support into PLSQL. Okay, now? So that's why select query statement, you can't write under PLSQL because PLSQL will not support a select query. So in place of select query, what I want to use? A select into statement I want to use. Okay, so how we are using select query in SQL? Same as a select into statement we are using under PLSQL. That's the difference. Okay, now? But both working nature, same. Fetching the data, reading the data, retrieving the data. Okay, now? Now this is SQL. Now PLSQL, see how I'm going to writing in PLSQL. Okay. First I'm going to declare. Here two variables I'm declaring here. V underscore e name, V underscore salary. Why are you taking V underscore name and salary, sir? Because of reason, user identification purpose. That means this variable, whatever we declared, this variable are you declared for which column data storing purpose. Okay, now if I'm taking X comma Y, even though supported, but what it was happening here, we have some confusion. This X belongs to which column? Y belongs to which column? That kind of confusions are occurred when we are writing the programs in your real time. That's why real time people, what they will do, which column data I'm storing into variable, that a variable name also taking as a column name. Then if I'm going to writing like this, okay, name and salary, then anybody can understand, not only myself. So you also can understand that, okay, sir, this variable are you declared for which column data storing purpose? Ename column data storing purpose. This variable are you declaring for which column data storing purpose? Salary. So that easily clients can understand that in this program, what we are doing. Understand now? For that purpose only I was taken here. Okay, right. The two variables I declared and begin. And now I'm writing which query? Select employee name, comma, sal. These are the column names. These column names I'm storing into which variables? The corresponding variables. So ename I'm storing under v underscore ename. Salary I'm storing under v underscore salary. From which table? EMP, where EMP number is equals to ampersandage of EMP number. Why I'm using ampersandage? Dynamically entry purpose. Okay, now then after what are the values I'm storing here? Ename value will storing under v underscore ename. Salary values are storing under v underscore salary. So now tell me, now ename column data, salary column data, now where it is? Where it is? In your variables. And those variables I need to print now? Yes, I'm going to printing those variables. Okay, now let me see here. So the same thing, okay, when you see in your PLSQL, so declared, what I'm doing, for example, X, if I'm giving X also, nothing problem. Okay, and I'm using Y. It's a salary purpose, I'm declaring Y. Okay, then after begin. Then after begin. After you can write which column I have to here? Ename, comma, salary. These two column values where I am storing X, comma, Y. From which table? EMP table. Where? So EMP number is equals to 7788. Then after what do you want to do? DBMS underscore output dot put underscore line of X concatenation, comma, concatenation Y. Clear all of you? Now you can see I'm going to execute and finally end this closing. What it was happened? Which employee? 7788. 7788 employee name is what? Scott. His salary how much here? 3,000. So that I got it or not? Yes or no? And SQL also same as a? Yes. Here what happened? Which value was given? That person name and salary. Here also which value was given? That person name and salary. But in this case, what is the problem here? Which number are you given here? Only that person details only I can see. But suppose if I want to view another employee data, can I see here? No. Then what I want to do? To make it a dynamic variable. Understand now? Dynamic variable advantage. Okay, static variables problem is what now? Only one person data can see it. But dynamic means any number of user data can see it. That is advantage. So now see, here X comma Y. But here, okay, X comma Y, if you people are understanding because you are there in the classroom. Suppose outside people will ask here, what is X comma Y? And X variable, which value will be stored? Y variable, which value will be stored? They can understand. No, it was having some little bit confusion. So to overcome this confusion purpose, what we want to do, which column values we want to store into these variables, those variables names also taking as a column name. If I'm taking like this, it's very easy to understand. Okay, now, right. So that's why what I'm going to do here, declaration. After declaration here, in place of this, here V is my identity purpose I'm taking. Okay. V means variable. V, EMP, sorry, ename, ename. That's over. Then come back here next. What is the next here? Salary. So in place of Y, V stands for variable. V underscore what? Sal. So this is also over. Then after what we want to do? Begin. Now we can write select ename comma sal into V underscore ename comma V underscore salary from which table? EMP, where EMP number is equals to ampersandage of EMP number. What is advantage ampersandage? Dynamical. Any user data can see it. Now, after that, what we want to do? DBMS underscore output dot put underscore line of V underscore ename concatenation, comma, concatenation, V underscore salary. Now, okay. And finally, end your begin statement to execute. What's asking here? Dynamical asking. Now I can see 7788. Got it? Yes. Now, if you want to see another employee entered, again asking 7900. Okay. Can you see like, suppose I want to see one more employee, 7369. Okay. Yes. I can see it. For example, you entered 1122. 1122 employee is there. Record is found or not found? Not found. So it was showing some error. What it was saying here? No data found. This is called exception actually. So this exception, how to avoid, later classes I will explain to you. Okay, na? So finally we got a no data found. Understand, na? Right down below. Take this. Okay, completed. Hmm. Now in this, here observed in this example, this is variable name and this is one data type. Yes or no? Ah. The which column data you want to store into variable, that column, which type of column based on that same type of variable should be declared. For example, here v underscore e name, this variable I'm declaring for e name. E name in my table, which data type? Varchar 2. For example, at the time of declaration, instead of varchar 2, here I will take some number. If I'm take number, now tell me, can I store? No. So it was giving some compilation error. Yes or no? So because of reason, are you storing which column? E name column into this variable. But your column data type is what? Your variable data type is what? Data types are matching a? No. Then definitely it was going to say some error. Okay. Now we are observed what we want to do next. Okay. Here also same thing. This is your program actually. This is your program. Okay, na? This is your program. So I was enter some, okay, right, got it. But can you see these two columns are you retrieving from which table? EMP. Let me call EMP. EMP table structure I have to see. Okay. And now see EMP table, which column data? E name. That E name column data type is what now? Varchar 2. Okay. And salary column data type is what now? Number. Okay, now, right. Now we can see. So in your table structure, e-name column and salary column, these two are having varchar 2 and number. So that here also those corresponding variables, whatever I was declared here, this is also varchar 2 number. So both the column data types, the column corresponding variables, whatever we declared, variable data types are matching. Matching or not? Yes. So whenever it was matching, I'm not getting any problem and I will get my output. The result will successfully be got it. But see something. Suppose in the future, suppose somebody came, they want to change e-name data type varchar to number, for example. So they changed varchar to number in your table structure. Okay. So e-name data type, they change as a number, for example. And salary data type, they change as a varchar 2. So this changes, data type changes are occurred in your table structure. Can I modify data type? Yes or no? Which command? Alter command we are using. So by using of alter command, in the future, if anybody change your column data type here, for example, then based on these columns, I already written some program. Now tell me, now this program will execute or not execute? Not execute? Check it out. What I'm saying here, in my table, my e-name column, salary column, data types are changed. Now I write this program. I'm executing this program. Is it execute or not execute? Not execute. What is the problem? The problem is what now? Here variable, e-name variable data type varchar. But in your table data type number. So data types are matching up? No. So that means it was showing some error. Okay. That means what I want to do, if I want to execute this entire program, it means that this program I need to write one more time. The next time again I have to newly write my program. Newly how to write my program? Again here I want to say declared. Now v underscore e name is which type? Number type. When again I have to rewrite my program, again redeclare my variables, and this entire the code again you have to rewrite. Okay, then only again your program will be executed. Okay, okay, I rewritten. This is the first time I written, and this is my second time I written here. Okay, now program executed. Executed. Yes, now executed. But after some time, again some more person came. Again this one will be changed. Again it will change as a varchar to this is number. Okay now? Now tell me. Now this program executed. No. What happened? Again data types are mismatching. So it means again this program is not work. Not work. But I want to write this program. Again what I want to do? Again third time. Third time I'm going to writing again. What is that? Declare. Next v underscore e name of varchar2 of something. Now this program is executed. Yes. That means finally what is conclusion here? Whenever the user has to change the data type column, okay, na, in your table, then automatically that column corresponding variables wherever in which program are you implemented, that entire program will be affected. Is it right? Yes or no? So once we have to go and change your data type of a column in your table structure, those columns corresponding variables, wherever you declared in your program, that entire program will be affected. So then what we want to do? Programmer need to write again and again. That's highly difficult. Then how I can overcome this? Okay, na? Here how we can overcome means there is a one concept is called as a anchor notations. What is that? Anchor notations or variable attributes. Okay. So variable attribute advantage is what now? Carefully observe. This is interesting. Now this is your first time you written your program. In the first attempt, those columns are having varchar2, okay, na? And salary is having number. So that's why there is nothing problem. In my table structure, column data type, my declaration variable data types are matching. So this program successfully executed. Okay, now? But what we said as of now, if anybody changes here, then this program not execute. Yes or no? So that means what we want to do. So to overcome this problem, what the people will do now, at the time of variable declaration in my program, instead of your data types, they are using variable attributes VA1. Just an explanation purpose I'm taking now. Okay, now that is called the anchor notations 1. So VA1 here I declared. Here also I want to instead of data type, here another variable attribute 2 if I declare. So what I am doing here, instead of data types, I'm using variable attributes I'm using. So whenever you are using anchor notations in place of data type, what it was happening, sir, means that for each and every variable attribute purpose, it was allocating some memory. It was allocating some memory internally. So in this variable attribute memory, what it was happening means this variable are you declared for which column? E-name column. Come to your e-name column. E-name column, data type, what it was there? Varchar2. This varchar2 will be stored in this memory. In this memory, it will be stored varchar2. Understand now? Now, salary. This variable are you declared for salary column. Salary column data type is what? this number data type will store under this memory. Okay, now can I execute my program? Any problem? No problem. Okay, keep it like this. Next attempt, someone came, they changed my data type. So now, suppose they changed here in my table structure, instead the data type change as what is now, for example, number. So whenever user will change the data type of a column in your table, then automatically in your variable attribute memory data type is also change automatically. Number. Can I execute this program? Or else I want to rewrite. No need to rewrite. Perfectly executed. Yes. In the next attempt, suppose again user will come here. He will be changed. Number data type to, again the changes varchar 2. Then automatically this column variable attribute memory is also changed automatically varchar 2. Now my program execute. No problem, na? No. That means what you understand? When we change data type of a column in a table, those column variables, whatever we declared, those columns variable, whatever you declared, those variable attribute memory also changing automatically. So in this case, what happened? Programmer no need to write again and again my program. Is it necessary? No. So it don't need to write again and again. No need to declare again and again. Okay, na? Only one time writing program with the variable attributes. I just leave that. And whatever modification you can do in your table, automatically here also affected. That's why same data types every time matching. Okay, na? This kind of advantage was there in where it is means anchor notations. Okay. This is called a variable attributes or anchor notations we called. Okay. And what it was telling, variable attributes are used in place of data types at your variable declaration time. Point clear now? What is advantage? Whenever we are using variables attributes, internally Oracle server is allocate some memory for these variable attributes. For what purpose? Storing the corresponding variable column data type. Understand na? Which was assigned at the time of a table creation. Okay na? Then what is the advantage here? Variable attributes are also called as a anchor notation. That leave it. Come here. The advantage of variable attributes are, now you can see, whenever we want to change a particular column data type in a table, then the corresponding column variable data type also changed in your variable attribute memory. Clear na? This is what advantage of anchor notations. Okay. And now, how many types these anchor notations? 2 levels I can apply. One is column level, one is row level. So what is column level? Column level attributes are nothing but in this level, we are defining variable attributes for individual columns. Every individual column variable, whatever you declared, every individual columns variable wise we are using. And this representator is what now? Percentile type. So this variable attribute, whenever I want to apply on my variables, so you should be use a representator percentile type. What is the syntax here? Observe. Syntax is what now? Variable name in place of a data type. In place of data type, what I'm using? Table name dot column. Which column? Column name percentile type. This percentile type representing column level attribute. With the help of this percentile, what it was happening, memory is allocated. Okay, now, and below write down. Here, what it was happened, v underscore e name. It's a variable name. Okay, now, as per syntax. And what I'm giving here, table name. What is the table name? EMP. Which column? E name column. Percentile type. Then what happened? For this purpose, internally Oracle allocating memory. In the memory, which column data type storing? E-name column data type is storing automatically. So user no need to assign data type. Okay, na? Right. So this is what it was, a column level attribute advantage. Let me come. Let me come. I'm not changing anything here. Just instead of data types places, I'm going to be using what now? Anchor notations. Everything's same, but here in place of this, tell me, emp dot ename percentile type over next one. Emp sal percentile type. That's all. Remaining program will be same as. So now we can see, so in place of data types, what I'm using, anchor notations I am using here. Okay, fine. And now we can see entire the program. Same program, there is no change, but just anchor notations are applied. So now execute, asking, now you can enter. So got it? Yes or no? But what is in this program difference? Only in place of these data types, I was applied anchor notations. Only difference. Okay, now? Right down below. Take siding, variable attributes or anchor notations.
Hmm.
Okay. So this is column level, and every individual column variable wise anchor notations are used here. And the next one is called as what now? Row level. Okay. So that row level example we will say tomorrow. Okay, now so from maximum tomorrow, your introduction part will be complete. Okay, then later we enter into advanced topics in PLSQL. Okay, now right, guys. Thank you so much.
సెలెక్ట్ లో వేర్ కండిషన్ పెట్టాం కదా సార్ అక్కడ ఆ వేర్ కండిషన్ కాదు మ్యాండేటరీ లేకపోతే ఆప్షనల్
Option.
ఆప్షనల్ అయితే ఇప్పుడు మనకు ఏ డేటా అయినా వస్తుంది సార్ మనం ఓన్లీ సింగిల్ రో అని చెప్పారు కదా
రేపు చెప్తాను.
రేపు అది ఎందుకంటే వేర్ కండిషన్ యూజ్ చెప్తే టోటల్ గా వస్తాయి కదా సార్
రాదు, టోటల్ గా రాదు. ఒక వాల్యూ వస్తుంది. ఓకేనా?
వ్యూస్ ఓన్లీ అది మళ్ళీ ఓన్లీ సెలెక్ట్ పర్పస్ మాత్రమే మళ్ళీ అప్డేట్ చేసినట్లు అవ్వట్లేదు
ఓన్లీ సెలెక్ట్ అవుతుంది.
ఓన్లీ సెలెక్ట్ మాత్రమే వస్తుంది
ఓకేనా?
कॉलम का डाटा टाइप चेंज किया प्रोग्रामर ने कॉलम का डाटा टाइप चेंज किया ऑटोमेटिकली एट्रीब्यूट लगा के जैसे कि वेरिएबल का भी डाटा टाइप चेंज कर दिया लेकिन सर कॉलम का तो जो डाटा है वो तो वैर टू ही रहेगा नंबर तो नहीं
हाँ, उस टाइम में क्या होता है